Look, everyone who's been in this game knows how it feels. You pour everything into an idea, a startup, a vision, and yet the people you bring on board feel like strangers wearing masks. You want partners, real partners, not just shareholders signing documents. Equity sharing sounds good on paper, right? But too often, it's just a fancy word for distributing risk and responsibility without sparking real trust. What's missing? The raw, human connection that turns a business relationship into a fierce alliance. If you're tired of deals breaking apart at the first sign of trouble, you're not alone, and the problem starts before the first dollar is invested. Here's the brutal truth. Handing out shares like they're candy doesn't build bonds. It can create expectations, maybe resentment, and sometimes outright war when visions diverge. You want your partners to show up not because their name is on a cap table, but because they care deeply. It's that fire that pushes through sleepless nights and brutal setbacks. Equity by itself won't do that. But equity shared the right way? That's a different game. Start by being obsessed with alignment, values, visions, goals. If your equity deal isn't built on a shared understanding of where you're headed and why, you're setting yourself up for disaster. Get very specific about what each person brings beyond money. Sweat equity, connections, unique skills, they have to carry weight, real weight, in how you divvy up ownership. Don't fall for the trap of equal splits just because it sounds fair. Fair doesn't always mean right. Push hard to get these conversations out in the open before you split anything. Don't let awkwardness or fear of offending drive your decisions. Then, build guardrails, not just contracts. Equity sharing should create a framework for ongoing collaboration, not just a static agreement. Set clear expectations for contributions over time. It's okay and necessary to tie ownership to milestones and performance. That puts skin in the game beyond signature day one. If someone isn't pulling through, their stakes should adjust. That's how you prevent toxic dead weight while maintaining respect and transparency. Make reviews regular, brutal, and honest. No soft landings. At the same time, never forget that sharing equity is sharing ownership of dreams and failures, not just stock. Invite total vulnerability. It's scary, but that's how trust grows. Create spaces, whether formal meetings or informal check-ins, where your partners can bring their doubts and frustrations without being judged or shut down. The best ventures don't hide problems. They explode them into the open so everyone can deal with them. Equity shared without that openness is just dead capital. And here's another piece people ignore. You need a common enemy. Not a villain, but a challenge that everyone recognizes as bigger than themselves. That shared fight binds people tighter than any shareholder agreement ever will. Whether it's breaking into new markets, crushing entrenched competitors, or tackling impossible tech problems, rally your team around that. It turns equity from just numbers on paper into a badge of honor, a reminder you're all in the trenches together. Finally, understand that equity sharing isn't about fairness, it's about value creation and mutual respect. You're not carving a cake, you're building a living organism. If anyone is there just to cash out, you need to know right now and act. Cut loose partners who drag you down or dilute the culture. This sounds harsh, but building a venture isn't a daycare, it's war. You don't survive by sharing pieces evenly. You survive by sharing the right pieces with the right people. So here's what you do right now. Get brutal about alignment before you talk percentages. Link ownership to real contributions and milestones. Create muscle memory for honest, uncomfortable conversations regularly. Build a culture where shared equity means shared trust and shared struggle. Find your common fight, lean into it relentlessly, and don't keep dead weight walking through your doors disguised as partners. Stop wasting time with empty equity promises that fuel broken partnerships. Build bonds that burn fiercely, because that's the only way you'll build something that lasts. That's how you turn shareholders into a united front, an unstoppable team that's not just in it for the money, but for the win. Now take that, run with it, and never settle for less. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and check the featured link to discover more.